Hello, everybody. I'm East Coast Pete, and welcome to Mid-Rock Crisis. And today we're going to talk about Joy Division. Not my favorite band, but I think it might be yours. Otherwise, why would you have chosen to watch this video? Joy Division was an English rock band formed in 1976. Vocals Ian Curtis, guitar and keyboards Bernie Sumner, bassist Peter Hook, and drummer Steve Morris. Sumner and Hook saw a Sex Pistols concert, and like thousands, they formed their own band right after. Joy Division began as punk rock but evolved into post-punk and goth. 1978 EP, An Ideal for Living, drew the attention of Factory Records' first album, Unknown Pleasures, produced by Martin Hamnett, was released in 1979. Now, Curtis suffered from depression and epilepsy. He had seizures on stage, and this made performing difficult. His solution was to hang himself in his kitchen. His body was found by his estranged wife, who was unsurprised. Curtis's depression was evident in his songs. Joy Division was on the cusp of an American tour, but Curtis hated flying. Anxiety can overwhelm. The single Love Will Tear Us Apart was from Joy's last album, Closer, and that became their highest charting success. Joy Division soon disbanded, but regrouped to form New Order. It's a post-punk electronic and dance band. Curtis came to Sumner and Hook through an ad at a Virgin record shop. His voice was a resonant baritone. The sound was not knee-jerk punk, it was slower, and Curtis's voice was clear and accessible. His lyrics about depression and alienation hit a nerve in the post-punk kids. He was adopted by many as a new hero. Joy Division began as Warsaw, named after David Bowie's song Warzawa. Warsaw debuted at the Electric Circus supporting the Buzzcocks, and Steve Brotherdale replaced Tony Tabak on drums. Brotherdale was a very aggressive personality. They ditched him while he was fixing a flat tire on their ride. Thanks, guys. Stephen Morris took over on drums. The Warsaw name was also ditched so as not to be confused with London punkers Warsaw Pact. Joy Division was chosen in 1978 from a novel, House of Dolls, which mentioned a Nazi sexual slavery wing of a concentration camp. Thanks, guys. Accusations of neo-Nazi sympathies convinced the band to continue using World War II imagery, not as pro-social, but as an expose. Joy Division was praised as the missing link between Elvis Presley and Susie Sue. Yeah. The album, Unknown Pleasures, was rough and tough, but soft with studio tracks, which dismayed the band at first. Decent record sales changed their attitude. The band took on the image of intense young men dressed in gray overcoats. 1980 saw a European tour and another album, Closer, with less embellishment in the studio, improving the band's simplistic four-chord song without choruses, Joy Division, were groundbreaking in a fractured scene still recovering from the punk explosion, and alt rock was born. Long hours on the tour brought on more epileptic seizures for Curtis. He was ashamed and depressed, but his fans became even more committed. Curtis was prescribed phenobarbital. Curtis took too much and couldn't perform at the Derby Hall in Bury. The lead vocals were performed by Alan Hempstall of Crispy Ambulance. Crispy Ambulance? Cute. And Simon Topping of A Certain Ratio. This led to some audience responding by throwing bottles at the stage because they wanted Curtis. After several cancellations, Joy Division's last public performance was at the University of Birmingham on May 2nd, 1980. They were scheduled to tour America to support Closer. The band was again miffed by the studio's relaxation of Bernie Sumner's guitar lines. It was like, oh no, it's happening again. Then Curtis ended speculation about how his epilepsy would react to traveling to the U.S. and if the American fans would give him a break, but they never got the chance. Curtis was in the middle of an impending divorce with his wife, Deborah, who wasn't included in the European tour, leading to Curtis taking up with music promoter Anik Hondre. It was more than he could bear, and the suicide shocked the band, making Curtis the focus of a sad ending rather than as a singer-songwriter. Tragedy, not art. Of course, any music released posthumously would chart. Everyone wanted to know what happened. That always happens. It's morbid. Now, New Order struggled for years to shed the shadow of Joy Division, but persevered and achieved great commercial success with a new, less dark sound. All's well that ends well. Sorry, people. Another one bites the dust. Please take care of yourselves. Be good to one another. I'll be back with another mid-rock crisis. Bye-bye.